Thank you very much. Senator Hoeven.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And again, I want to add my congratulations as well to the portrait. It really is fantastic. And thank both you and the ranking member for holding this important hearing. Secretary Administrator, thanks to both of you for being here. Secretary, would you agree that we want to make sure that people who need help having access to adequate food receive it, and at the same time we want to make sure that the program is as cost-effective as possible, and that we want to always have incentives to get people to self-sufficiency? Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then in that process, how do tools like the National Accuracy Clearinghouse for SNAP help USDA meet those goals, and what can we do to make sure that we're meeting the need but reducing instances of waste, fraud, and abuse in the nutrition programs?
I think the National Accuracy Clearinghouse, or as we call it, the NAC, sometimes will serve both of those goals. The NAC is set up, the USDA is setting up a nationwide platform to work with states to ensure that individuals are not dually enrolled. So if someone applying in Maryland, the state will have the ability through this platform to check whether they're enrolled in SNAP somewhere else in the country. So that prevents dual participation, which is a program integrity goal, but it's also a program service and access goal, because there may be someone who lived in DC who moved to Maryland who told DC, please disenroll me, and that didn't happen by the time they were seeking to enroll in Maryland. And so we hope that through the NAC we'll be able to facilitate the swift disenrollment of someone from one state, and while before they seek participation in another. The research that we have overwhelmingly shows that is where we have the experience of again, this issue of friction, someone trying to, as someone moves across state lines, the experience of dual participation fraudulently is extremely rare, but this tool will help us to prevent it.
Are there other programs or steps you're taking to make sure you're meeting the need, but also doing it as cost effectively as possible?
I would think online shopping is a good example of that, where we want to, meaning where SNAP participants can purchase food through an online platform that grocers offer. That's a terrific access tool. We also need to take steps to identify and determine if that exposes us to more risk in terms of theft or trafficking in the program. So we're both offering that new option as a customer service enhancement, but then working to track and identify any security risk there.
Yeah. Again, I think anytime you can help people that need it, but also create incentives for self-empowerment, and then make sure you're delivering those programs as cost effectively as possible, and that's a win. And you have to have all of those focuses together. And you're hearing that, of course, in this hearing, I think, pretty clearly.
Well, and if I may, sir, I think the changes that Congress directed us to take with our SNAP Employment and Training Program does exactly that as well. We have been encouraged to work with states to reorient and design them to be more evidence-based, workforce-based programs, so we can identify individuals on SNAP who need better employment and connect them to those good, high-quality jobs.
Yeah, the other thing I want to bring up is really prior to the increase in August of 21 to the Thrifty Food Program, those types of changes or increases had typically been done through Congress on a bipartisan basis, and in this case there was a very significant increase which was done by USDA unilaterally. Don't you feel that that's the kind of thing, and even GAO came back and said that should have been done through a rule process. Shouldn't those kind of changes be done by Congress? And how do you intend to approach that in the future?
Senator Hoeven, the Secretary of USDA for decades has had the authority to assess the Thrifty Food Plan. The 2018 Farm Bill actually directed him by 2022 to reevaluate it with respect to 4 particular criteria, and to do it every 5 years thereafter. So we pursued that reevaluation and the change to the Thrifty and the subsequent change to SNAP at congressional direction. We stand by our process. It was a robust, data-driven endeavor, and it resulted in increasing SNAP benefits by 40 cents per person per meal, which we think puts healthy food within reach of millions of households.
So you think that should be done by administrative fiat rather than congressional action?
No, sir, I'm sorry. Let me respond to that specific question. It is a congressional directive now. We are required to do it every 5 years, according to the change.
And I'm asking whether you're going to come back and consult with Congress in that process or do it unilaterally.
We learned a lot about the process and how to do it best this go-around. We will absolutely pursue continuous improvement and are eager to continue to consult with you all.
I would think that'd be something that Congress would certainly want to consider in the next Farm Bill in terms of how that process is, performed going forward. Thank you both for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Senator Boozman.
Ms. Long,